What's good, y'all? Finally dropped another video, man. This one's a little different because the reason I haven't been dropping is because I've been working on my own project with a lot of my homies, and honestly this video I just want to talk about the process and pretty much how we made Who Am I, which I'm gonna put the cover right here. Alright, so I'm gonna break this down into chapters. Chapter 1 is gonna be how it started. So how it started, it was around July of last year, and I was just at work chilling, and I was like, I don't know, bro. I feel like as a producer, you know, you kind of want to have your own thing sometimes, and you feel like a lot of the times you're making music for other people, and you're, you know, trying to make beats for other people and make loops for other people and opportunities and yada yada yada, where it can kind of get boring or overwhelming, or, you know, it's just not as entertaining anymore. It's not as fun, and I kind of wanted to, you know, do something that was fun. I felt like I really wasn't doing enough stuff for myself. I figured, I don't know, why not make an album? Something that I wanted to do for a long time. I kind of felt like, you know, nervous to do it. I feel like a lot of people, you know, they feel like maybe someone won't have as many supportive people around them to like kind of make that thing happen. But I was kind of just like, F it, let's just try it, see what happens. I posted on my story, I was like, yo, who wants to make an album? I'll drop a little screenshot right there. Pretty much, you know, who wants to make an album? Who wants to just do something? Anyone, let's go. And I wound up having a ton of people like reach out, just be like, yo, let's do it, like let's make something happen. And that was a really cool start. First of all, just boosting my confidence, seeing people actually are interested in working and just like getting stuff, you know. Chapter 2 is gonna be putting it all together, which kind of, I don't think is a good title, but these titles are off the dome, so it doesn't matter. So pretty much this part of the process was like, okay, cool, I got everyone. How do I want to reach out to people? How do I want people to collaborate? How do I want people to collaborate with me? What's the best way? And for a long time I also wanted to make a Discord server because I feel like that's a good way to build community, especially in producer spaces. So I was like, oh, perfect time to build Discord. So I made a Discord, Laptop Music, link in the description if you want to join. And pretty much I spammed everyone who was interested, and I was like, yo, join the Discord, join the Discord, join the Discord, let's go. Like, put the link in, blah, blah, put in my story, whatever, so everyone could join, really, because it's just a creative space. It was just a good place to host the album as well. And a bunch of people joined. A lot of people who were interested in the album joined, so I had a space for them. I had like a specific role that they would use where they could access a channel where I'd send beats and other guys would send loops, and we'd like collaborate on beats and loops and songs and all that. People would drop their songs in there. I wasn't too sure how well the Discord would work, but in the end it did work. I had to convince some people to download Discord, but it's just an easy way to collaborate with people. So honestly, I recommend it, especially if you're kind of smaller and you're trying to work on an album or something. I think this is just an easy way to communicate with people, not having to get emails or numbers and having that stuff get lost. Chapter 3 was pretty much getting songs back from artists over the course of 2025. Pretty much from like August to the end of the year, I was like, send songs. This is like my timeline. I kind of set a deadline of like, I want stuff back before December, with some exceptions. I think I had like 2 songs that I recorded after. I had one that I actually recorded in March just because we had to get everything right for that, the piano and stuff, so I recorded one pretty late. But other than that, all the songs were back before December, essentially, other than maybe some things that I had wanted the artist to add on. But the first song I got back actually was Canal. That was literally the first song that I got back in the Discord. And once I heard it, here's a snippet right here, first of all.
Got Givenchy shoes at the door just to kick all the dirt on the floor. Yeah, damn, my money do flips like my jet dance. Little bitch, I got moonwalk bands. Damn, my wrist too cold, look down. Said bird, looking like I got goo-wop hands. Damn.
But yeah, once I heard that, man, I was like, this album's gonna be tough. Like, I already know we got one. I was hyped. Once you get that first song back and you know that it's real, it's like, we're on go time. It's time. So shout out Casper for sending that first song back. Super awesome work, and y'all definitely should check it out. That's a great one. The whole album's great. But shout out Casper for being the first one to send a song back. Now we're on the big chapter 4. I don't know. I'm just gonna say halfway through the journey because I actually don't even know how many chapters I'm gonna have until I finish, I guess. I don't know. But at this point, it's probably January, and this is when I've gotten pretty much all the songs back. So my timeline was essentially send beats, get all the songs back by the end of 2025, and then January to, I think it was like January to March, whatever, was just mixing. I just wanted to mix songs, pretty much. I thought that would take the longest. I also, the beat switches, I actually put aside a whole month for just trying to do beat switches, and then I put aside another month for promo and editing promo videos and recording, getting ideas and stuff. So the beat switches actually didn't take that long. It was really kind of went with the process. As I was mixing, I was kind of like, okay, these songs would sound good transitioning into each other. I had the keys and the BPMs of each song like labeled and stuff in like a Google Drive, so I knew exactly what I was looking for. And so that wasn't too bad. It was kind of like going with the flow, and that did not take a month. What took the longest was the mixing, because obviously different environments, everyone's in different spaces, and I'm not like some master engineer, so I'm trying to get the levels pretty much as close as possible, and make it sound, like one space, one studio. So that's probably the most challenging part, because as a producer, you're gonna listen to like tracks and you're gonna hear stuff and you're gonna be like, this is great, and you're gonna listen to it the next day and then it's not great anymore. And I think that happens a lot when you're working on a whole album and it's like, your first release and you want to get it right. So I think pretty much from January to March, I was just back and forth, sending it to my homies, just trying to get it right. And that was definitely the hardest part, was getting that right. Yeah, I mean, even now, like, I might listen to a track and be like, I could do that better. But, that's just, I think, how it is being a producer. You beat yourself up a lot more. So, I think it turned out good, but I'm always a critic. I don't know. Part 2 of Chapter 5 is just the promo. So, the promo, I actually had a book that I would just write any idea I had. I would be on the bus, I'd be at work, I'd be at home, whatever. I would just, like, write down promo ideas that I had, videos, frame by frame, descriptions of how I wanted the video, stuff like that. And then I met with my boy Gio, shout out Gio, and we kind of just laid out exactly how I wanted the promo to be, how I wanted to lay it out. I think in retrospect, even then, I still was very vague. I think there's a lot that goes into making promo that's meaningful and has a theme and a purpose, and so it was initially very vague when we had recorded it. And he killed it, bro. He actually really killed it, and he was very patient with me and how I was explaining things. I didn't want to be that bum who's like, can you actually change this? But shout out Gio, he did his thing, man, and the promo turned out super cool. And then on top of that, I also did a little more editing myself, because I had some ideas that were just a little easier if I could lay it out myself. So with us two, we got the promo done, and I think it turned out super cool, and people engaged with it and loved it. So, all right, now we're on chapter 6. Does that look like a 6? 6. All right, chapter 6 is pretty much publishing the actual album. So I used DistroKid for that. I used I don't know what the version is. This is like the $35 version where you have 2 artists and you can like schedule your releases, because scheduling your releases makes it easier for playlisting. So yeah, but this was super tedious, I'm not gonna lie. I think it took me like 2 hours to get the whole album published, because thank God I had already gotten everyone's like their Instagrams, their emails, their not SoundClouds, their Spotify's, their Apple Music, all that stuff. I'd gotten all that stuff ready, so it made it a little bit easier in terms of like linking everything when I was like putting it on DistroKid, but still took forever. And you gotta go through, make sure all the songs right, everything's titled correctly, everything's credited correctly. So that took a long time to do, and I was OCD about it. I probably checked through it like 3 times just to make sure like everything's credited, everything's titled, all the songs are in the right place. So I think that's probably also one of the more challenging parts, and one of the parts requires a lot of patience. And on top of that, you gotta make sure you have all your accounts claimed for all your platforms. For example, Apple Music did not have it claimed. I had to go on there and remove some songs that were not mine. YouTube Music, I didn't have it claimed. I think it's still a little bugged, but I'll try to get that fixed. And you want to claim your platforms, you want to make everything look good. So that also took some time to make sure everything looked good. And on top of that, the lyrics, I put all the lyrics up. Thank goodness I asked everyone for lyrics, and everyone clutched up and gave me lyrics, so I had lyrics. But those didn't go up for some reason on Spotify. I don't know. Hopefully in the next few days it does. I don't know. And then also I synced the lyrics, because you gotta sync your lyrics if you have love for the game. Sync your lyrics, man. But that is crazy, because I don't know why, but I didn't know you had to sync the lyrics manually. So to sync lyrics, you gotta like hold the space bar down on the lyric each time, or each bar. You gotta hold the space bar down when that bar comes up. So when a dude is rapping fast, like in Canal, for example, or Good Lord with Mac, one of those songs, or even Beep Beep, when Shaggy comes on, you're like pressing the spacebar just continuously, just over and over and over again. And I think that took me another hour and a half, because like you mess up once, you have to restart the entire thing. So tedious. And some of those songs are 4 minutes, so it's like, man, that was a little bit of a challenge, but it came out really good. And I think in terms of like the publishing overall, it went pretty smooth. I think everyone was very communicative, and everyone made sure that it went relatively smoothly. All right, now let's go on to chapter 7. There we go, 7. I haven't forgotten my chapters, surprisingly, which is good. Chapter 7, I guess this can be releasing everything, promo, music, all that stuff. So I pretty much put on the calendar exactly what days, what times I wanted to release each promo, and which one specifically I wanted to release, because I kind of had an order of how I wanted to tease stuff. So I did that. Great engagement, everyone loved it, and I really appreciate everyone who was just tapping in, even with the promo and hyping it up and sharing on their story. That's like super cool to see, especially as a producer who hasn't really released too much of his own stuff. And then the album day came out. I was literally cooking with my boy Yuvon, so shout out Yuvon, aka Kingfisher. We got music coming soon. So it was just really cool to see everyone just hyping it up, and I was like juggling, bro. We were like recording a song, but I was also trying to like comment on people or like reply to people and stuff, and everyone was showing love, man. It was such a cool first night, and like I even saw Shaggy on that bus that night, so I feel like it was really meant to be, and it was a blessing for real, just how everything turned out. I think the dropping process went super smooth. Everything went out on all platforms on time. The post went out on time. The Wi-Fi didn't cut out, so thank goodness for that. I think that was my biggest concern, was that something wouldn't release or anything like that. And we're on to the final chapter, chapter 8. This will be the final chapter, just so I can be right about 4 being the halfway point. If you were tapped in earlier, shout out you. But this chapter will be about post-release and the pros and cons of working on an album that you executively produced. So the post-release was really cool. It was just great seeing everyone show love. At this point, pretty much a week after, I'm up to like 100 monthly listeners on Spotify alone, and the album's almost at 1,000 total plays. So it's been super cool seeing everyone engage with it and really show love. That was like honestly more than I expected. My main goal was 100 monthly listeners, so that was pretty awesome. And it looks like, bro, my light just cut out, bro. Come on, man. All right, we're just going to lock in like this. Anyway, yeah, so it was cool, bro, just to see that. I think that turned out a lot better than even I expected. And in terms of the pros and cons, so first, the cons. Very little, honestly. I highly suggest it. It's a challenge, but it's a challenge that you should definitely take on if you want to, I guess, like improve your musicality and as a whole, your communication skills, just how you work with people. It's cool, bro. Like, I think it's hard to get a bunch of people working in a room or in a space together in general. So just being able to do that and connect people and get people to work on songs who didn't even know each other before, I think that's like really dope. I think the most difficult part was definitely like getting everything in on time, you know, being sure, like bugging people like, yo, send this, I need the lyrics, hey, send the lyrics, hey, I need that verse, you know, bugging people was always kind of annoying, but it's worth it. I think also another annoying part was just, like the mixing of like, you know, everyone's from different environments, different spaces. Getting everything as balanced as possible is definitely a tedious process. As a producer myself, not primarily an engineer, I think that was kind of tough, and mastering wasn't too bad, but you know, I don't master that much, so it was a good learning experience. But of course, the pros, everything else, I mean, bro, like this was just so fun. Like working with people who you've known for a while, and some people I never even knew before I worked on the album, and just like seeing their talents and seeing how they work and seeing their flow and just connecting all the dots, man, is super satisfying. And everyone was so talented, and just like it's a challenge that you learn a lot from. And I'm definitely hyped to put out more projects in the future. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be so fire. So in conclusion, this was just a project for me to bring people together and make stuff that I actually had fun making. So it was amazing to see how it turned out. Obviously, this is like 20 minutes of me just yapping, kind of trying to give a general overview of my process and how I worked. If you guys have any specific questions, definitely let me know. I want to make more videos. I want to do some breakdowns on songs. I want to walk you guys through the process of how I mixed and kind of my thought process to more technical stuff. But this was more of a video of just showing, you know, other producers and artists, like, you can do it. Like, put out the music that you want to work on, that you want to see people see. Do what you want to do. Enjoy the music. Enjoy the process. Trust the process. And go through the challenges, because you're going to put out some fire stuff. And it's going to go big. And you're going to be the best in the world. So, peace out. Much love. Go stream Who Am I? All platforms. by Kid Next Door, and enjoy your day.